Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to do something really cool. We're going to take a plain old Python function and, in just a few minutes, transform it into a fully interactive web app that you can share with anyone. So, let's dive right in.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever written a really neat piece of Python code and just thought, man, I wish my friends or my colleagues could actually use this without having to install Python and a million libraries? If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place.
And a solution to that problem has a name. It's the Gradio interface class. Honestly, this thing is the hero of our story today. Think of it like a magic wand that you wave over your function and poof, it just wraps a beautiful functional UI right around it. It's awesome.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, it's not really magic. It's more like a recipe. A super simple one, actually, with just 3 core ingredients. These are the absolute must-have pillars for any Gradio app. Okay, so first up, we've got fn. That's just your Python function, the code you want to show off. Next, inputs. These are the ingredients your function needs to do its job. Could be text, an image, whatever. And finally, outputs. This is the final dish, right? It's what your function spits out at the end. That's it. Function, inputs, outputs. That's the core recipe.
Now, following the basic recipe gets you a working app, which is already amazing. But the real fun starts when you begin adding your own personal flavor. Gradio gives you a ton of power to tweak and customize how your inputs and outputs actually look and behave.
You've got 2 main ways to go about this. The quick and dirty way is using a simple string shortcut, like just writing Textbox. It works, it's fast. But if you want real control, you can bring out the full component class. Think of these as your custom spices, letting you add labels, change sizes, or give specific instructions.
And here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the left, just Textbox. Simple. Does the job. But look at the right. By calling the gr.textbox class directly, we can specify exactly how many lines it should have and give it a custom label. It's a tiny bit more code for a whole lot more control.
Okay, theory is one thing, but let's actually see this in action. We're going to build a simple but really fun app that works with audio. This will make the idea of custom components crystal clear. So for our audio reverser app, we're going to customize that input. We'll use grab audio, but we'll tell it source equals microphone. Right away, that lets you record directly in the browser. Then we add type equals numpy, which just gives us the audio data in a format that's super easy for our Python function to play with. And for the output, the simple string, audio is all we need. And the result is, well, you can now record your own voice and then hear it played back in reverse. How cool is that? It's a fantastic way to see how just a couple lines of code can create a genuinely interactive and, yeah, maybe a little bit spooky experience. All right, so single inputs and outputs? Nailed it. But what about when your function is more gourmet? A complex dish that needs a bunch of different ingredients and maybe gives you a few different things back. How do we handle that? Well, you're going to love this. The solution is super simple, super Pythonic. You just use a list. That's it. You pass a list of input components for your inputs, and you pass a list of output components for your outputs. Easy. Now here is the absolute key, the one thing you have to remember. Order matters a lot. The components in your list map one-to-one to the parameters in your function in the exact same order. So as you see here, the first component, the dropdown, maps to the first parameter, note. The slider maps to octave, and so on. The order is everything. Okay, time for the grand finale. We're going to take everything we've just learned, the core recipe, the custom components, handling multiple inputs, and put it all together to build something really practical, a full-blown speech recognition demo. And don't worry, it's built from stuff we're already familiar with. We'll just grab a powerful pre-trained model from Hugging Face, write a little function called transcribe audio to do the processing, and then wrap the whole thing up in our interface class with an audio input and a text output. And after all that, you know what it takes to bring this whole app to life? Just one more line. Demo.launch. That's the magic button that starts the engine and builds the entire web app for you. But what is launch actually doing under the hood? I mean, it sounds simple, but there's a lot of power packed into that one command. It's way more than just a simple run button. It's basically your own personal deployment toolkit. For starters, it fires up a little web server right on your machine so you can open your app in a browser. If you're working in a Jupyter notebook, it even embeds the UI right there, which is super convenient. But honestly, the real game changer is this. With one little argument, share equals true,
It creates a public, shareable link to your app. Yeah, you heard that right. It's basically like creating a Google Drive link, but instead of a document, it's for a live, interactive machine learning app running on your own computer. You can send this link to anyone, anywhere in the world, and they can use your app instantly. I mean, how incredibly powerful is that?
So there you have it. We went from a simple Python function all the way to a fully interactive, shareable web app. We learned the core recipe, how to customize it, and how to launch it for the whole world to see. So now the only real question left is, what awesome function are you going to bring to life first?